Dilara Tetik.
I just love this song so much. Can you just play? This is as soft as it's gonna get because my topic is really deep. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for the introduction. Thank you for having me and coming up here tonight. My name is Dilara and I'm life and relationship coach. By the way, I've got my qualification officially tonight, so celebrate it with me. 30 minutes ago I found that, so I'm very grateful. Right, I'm going to talk about how to heal each other's wounds by the power of love. I would love to talk about, how love is amazing and it's all about rainbows and sunshines and all that kind of stuff, right? It is at the beginning, which is absolutely wonderful. We all know that. You fell in love, guy meets the girl and then the eyes, kind of contact, and then the hearts start to beat and they fall in love. And it's beautiful, then the honeymoon period, like they're all so perfect and you go like, oh, he is everything I ever wanted. How lucky I am, I'm so blessed. And then one day you're like, oh, I can't stand him. Why is he not putting this, washing correctly in the laundry? For example, or suddenly you start to find yourself to kind of maybe get a little bit jealous, a little bit insecure, and start to those feelings of not being enough, not being comfortable, not feeling fulfilled. And the stuff start to come up. I was very lazy with my slides, so I have to read it from here, so apologies about that. But there are certain things that I absolutely loved, and I wanted to kind of read it word by word. So I want to go back. What I want to make it clear, before I go really, really deep on with the wounds in the relationships and how we can actually heal them, the most important relationship we have with ourselves. So I'm completely biggest advocate of that. We have to have a very healthy and happy relationships with ourselves before we can have that happy and healthy relationship with others. So, but this thing, I saw that the other day and I thought it's really worth to share. Everyone says you shouldn't rely on another person to fill the empty spaces in your heart. They tell you you're just as strong on your own, but the way I see it, some of those empty spaces are only shaped for another person to fill. It doesn't matter how much I love myself or how confident I am. In the end, I can't hold myself while I'm crying. I can't roll over and hug myself to fall back to sleep after a bad dream. Life is about love, and love is meant to be shared. I absolutely love this. Self-love, yes. But relationships and love with another, it's crucial, it's beautiful. That's where we grow, that's where we learn who we are. And going back, how the triggers starts in the relationship and how wounds start to show up. Any of you believe twin flames? Can you put your hand up? Twin flames. Any of you believe in twin flames or heard twin flames? Okay, great.
But I don't believe it's about everybody.
Yeah, everybody has, and I'm just wondering. I'm not going to go too much detail to it. It doesn't really matter. I was just curious. I met my twin flame, right? And it was amazing. It was magical. It really was. And I thought, oh my God, how is this for real? I didn't realize that there was such a thing for twin flame, by the way, at the time. And I thought, oh my God, I'm so blessed meeting someone like that. And then 3 months into magical relationship, we start to suffer, seriously suffer on the relationship. I mean, it wasn't a level that I didn't realize that one day I was so in love with this guy that I didn't know this level of love exists. And the next day, I didn't know that this level of pain exists. But one thing I knew that pain wasn't coming from the other person. It was coming from me. because I got into a relationship is so deep, so connected, all my deepest wounds start to come up because the first time I've connected in this level. It was the first time. And then the things that I had will start to show up. And most of the time, these things show up based on our childhood. What kind of family and parents we have. And what kind of friends we had. What do we see, what the relationship is. What does it mean? All the meanings we give it to it is actually programmed in our childhood. Because if I grow up in a healthy household, mom and dad, they're completely and utterly in love with each other. It's a beautiful place. That's my understanding of what a relationship is. Happy and healthy mom and dad together. But if I grow up in a household where I grow up with a single mother and doesn't have any father, or could be other way around, doesn't matter, or there's a separation, it affects every single one of us. That's what I want to talk about, because sometimes we get scared of our own feelings. It's easy to avoid. It's easy to pretend like they're not there, right? Because no one really talks about it. Everybody says that relationships are just perfect. And what we did though, we both bring each other's wounds, and we both start to scare the life out of each other. Because the love was so intense, we didn't know what to do with it. We were frightened. But the things that we should have done, when you don't know better, you can't do better. But when you know better, you can do better. Hence, like tonight, I want to talk about how to heal each other's wounds with the power of love. We should hold space for each other. What is holding space? Holding space is allowing the person you love to be truly and utterly who they are, without judging them, without criticizing them, without any kind of expectations at all. If they want to fall apart, they can fall apart, but they know that you're there, right there with them. If they fall apart, if they crumble, they're safe. You're not going anywhere. You're not going anywhere. And they can be as vulnerable as they can. They can go through whatever they need to go through. But no one going to walk away. But you don't have to save the other person. That's the important part. You don't have to give an advice. You don't have to find any kind of solution. You just need to be there, and you just need to send love. Don't we need that in our friendship as well? Don't we need that any kind of relationship? It's okay. That's okay. Whatever comes up for you, it's okay. I'm not going to judge you. I'm not going to criticize you. I'm going to love you no matter what. So you can show me the depths of your soul so I can see who I'm truly with. But we didn't do that. We pushed each other away because we freaked out. And the other thing, we couldn't even be vulnerable with each other because we were so scared the intensity of the feelings we had, because we never experienced that before, because we didn't even know they were coming from. What is vulnerability? I love vulnerability. If you guys haven't heard of Brené Brown, make sure you check. She's a completely and utter expert on vulnerability. I love the way how she shares it with so much, because she's a researcher. She's a she's not a scientist, but she's a researcher, and she's very well known and respected and accepted researcher. And her research is all about vulnerability. And what vulnerability is, it's not opening up someone. Oh my God, do you know what happened to me? It's not that, because that's scary. But vulnerability is when something comes up, maybe, just maybe, you feel a little bit jealous. Maybe something happened that you feel a little bit insecure. That's okay. We're human. Jealousy is a normal emotion. Insecurity is a normal emotion. They're not scary. But the important thing is with the vulnerability, you can share that and say, look, I don't know what that is, but I'm feeling a bit insecure at the moment. I don't know what's going on, but I don't feel like I'm good enough at the moment, and I'm scared to lose you. And it's embarrassing for me to accept that. I'm ashamed. But that's how I feel. And you're the closest person to me. You're the person I love the most. I want you to know. What would you do when someone you loved so much opens up like that? You wouldn't push that person away, would you? You wouldn't. You wouldn't. I mean, if you do, that's okay. There's no right or wrong. If you push, that's what we did, because our stuff was coming up. But vulnerability has such a power where you get the deepest connection. But we didn't do that either. And the other thing, we needed to turn towards each other, but we turn away from each other. And in this one, with turning away each other, I want to share a beautiful, powerful story by John Gottman. And he is the most amazing researcher, relationship researcher ever. And literally in 4 minutes, spending time with his clients, with couples, he can tell that if a couple is actually going to last or not. Because he's been doing so many researches with couples, with their body languages, how they connect with each other, how they interact with each other. He can literally spot it out in 4 minutes. And he's got this beautiful story where he's talking about trust and betrayal. And it's a story about sliding doors. Have you guys heard Gwyneth Paltrow watch that film, Sliding Doors? It's beautiful. If you haven't, make sure you do. So John Gottman, one day, he's in bed and he's reading his book. It's like a science fiction or something, or a crime. Sorry, it's a crime. It's a crime book. And he's in the last chapter, and he thinks that he knows who's done it, right? So he puts the book in the bed and he goes to the bathroom. And when he goes to the bathroom, before he reaches out, he sees his wife in the mirror, and she looks a bit sad. And he says that on that moment, he says he had a choice. It was like a sliding door moment. He could choose to ignore it. And he said, in truth, that's what he wanted to do. Because all he wanted to do, just to go to the bathroom quietly and just go back into his bed and just finish the book. That's all he wanted. He said, on those moments, we build trust. Or we betray. Because he said if he sneaked out, he would betray. But what he did, he dropped everything, he stopped, and he took his wife's hairbrush, and he started to brush his wife's hair. And he said, what's the matter, honey? What happened? And he said in that moment, he built trust. So his lesson in there, it's the small moments that we build trust. And it's that sliding door moment. And he said he had that. And if you watch that film, she misses one tube. Her life goes completely in a different way. And they show that if she actually didn't catch that, what would happen? Completely two different scenario. So our lives at any second is like a sliding door moment. So we always have a choice. So we can always choose to turn towards each other, or we can choose to turn away from each other. Choice is ours. But what would love do? Thank you very much for your time.
Woo!